Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning, and we are here in the Beaux-Arts Ford studio. We want to say, hope everybody had an amazing weekend. We have a very special guest in. We have St. Johns County Supervisor of Election, Vicky Oakes, in the studio with us today. We will get to that in just a minute, but first, we got to tell you about the amazing people at Beaux-Arts Ford. Since 1949, Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine beyond and beyond for over 75 years. Beaux-Arts offers award-winning services, unbeatable selections, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and the President's Awards, Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and even a better buying experience. Located right there on I-95 and State Road 16, Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln. They are driven to inspire. Now, we also have other amazing sponsors. Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Ben 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Facial Rejuvenation Center, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and the St. Augustine Handy House. Please get out there and support our sponsors. They're the ones that keep us on the air and let us get the news to you. So if you see them out there, tell them thank you, and we really appreciate them. So, hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Troy. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Coming in on the Monday morning, all smiley and bright like you always are. And Blake, are you alive back there?
Yes, I am alive back here.
All right, there you go. All right. So it's time for the question of the day. I know everyone's been studying all weekend for the question of the day. Today is National Black Cat Day. So I was like, okay, let's see how superstitious our group out there is and see how superstitious you are. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this is the question of the day, scale of 1 to 10, how superstitious are you? And Vicky, how superstitious are you?
0. I happen to have a black cat, Troy.
So he walks in front of you, or he or she walks in front of you all the time. Doesn't affect your day.
Correct.
There you go. Blake, what about you at superstitions?
I'm probably like a 3.
A 3?
Yeah, like
What about when it comes to sports? Does it go up?
7.
A 7. Yeah. So I think you're cut from the same cloth as me. So I'm not very superstitious on everyday things, but when it comes to sports, like when I was in high school, I heard somebody ate chicken every day and it helped them hit. So I got on a hitting streak. So I had to eat chicken before every game. And I mean, I would find wherever I could find chicken, even if like, I think at one point I ate the chicken bouillon, just to make sure I ate something that was chicken in it. And I got a hit that day. So it worked for a limited time.
Well, thank you for explaining that to me because that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So why anyone would eat a chicken?
Why would be for one particular thing?
Yeah. No, but it's just, people wear the same socks and sometimes they don't wash them. And I mean, sports superstitions are a different beast altogether.
Okay. So
Blake, you always have your towel when you watch your football game. The terrible towel. He's a Steeler fan. Sorry about your game last night, Blake. All right.
You had to bring it up in front of our guests this morning.
Yeah, I just want you to be strong, man. Oh, the whole show, just be strong.
This is the reason why my eyes are covered right now because
covering the tears.
Yeah.
And well, thank goodness you're wearing a shirt so we can't see your broken heart. All right. All right. It is now time for a quick check of the weather, and it is moist outside. Moist outside. All right, and that weather report, you get that?
Yes.
Moist outside. All right, that weather report is brought to us by Ben 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best-kept secrets, Ben 39, tucked inside the St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's a perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or bottle in the serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music throughout the week. Open daily, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Ben 39, your taste to discover. Now it is time for the Blake's traffic report. Go ahead, Blake.
We actually do have we do have a whole bunch of traffic this morning.
Oh, it is slow out there.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to,
Is that northbound or southbound? I can't.
that is northbound. So all the traffic that you see is above mile marker 323. So this traffic it looks like the source of this congestion is above mile marker 331, which is the County Road 210 exit. So it looks like
that is really backed up.
It really is backed up. So before you get past, I recommend getting off International Park Golf Parkway, then taking US 1 all the way up.
That means US 1's going to be jammed up too. So everyone be very careful out there. The roads are slippery. So.
Yeah. So be nice to everyone this morning.
Yeah.
All right. And that traffic report is brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climbable Old Town Trolley experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features over 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marco, the Flagler's Historic Hotel, and the Fountain of Youth. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it is the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum and locals. St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest with the Hometown Pass program at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine, one stop at a time.
All right. Now we do have one news story we want to get to, and then we're going to get into our amazing interview with my good friend Vicky here. All right. Salt marshland in St. John's is donated to North Florida Land Trust, and this is what I like to hear. We have so many stories, and I talk about preservation and all of these things, and this is one of the stories that when it shows up, I like to give these stories. A small but significant piece of coastal land in St. Johns County is now officially protected from development. The North Florida Land Trust announced that it has received a donation of 4 acres in southeast St. Johns County, located just south of the Matanzas Inlet. Land was gifted by St. John's Wildlife Care, Inc., which reached out to the nonprofit to ensure the property would be preserved for conservation. The site sits with a tidal-influenced salt marsh surrounded by homes in Matanzas Inlet Beach subdivision, just west of Summerhaven. Despite being a highly desirable area for developers, the land will remain untouched. NFLP President and CEO Allison DeFore called it a real win for the community conservation, saying the property's preservation was critical and describing it as a now or never opportunity. The 4-acre parcel is home to a rich mix of native vegetation, including black mangroves, southern red cedar, oak, Indian blanket flower, and sable palms. Officials say the site falls in the NFLT's salt marsh and climate resilience priority preservation area, designed to protect coastal habitats and reduce flooding, absorb storm surge, and help buffer the communities from hurricanes. Now, I'm just going to go off script a little bit. This is exactly what I preach about. So anytime this story comes up, I want to say this. Even though it's 4 acres, the commissioners are kind of struggle with the law against some development because there's landowner rights that come into play. This is how we can save it, is through preservation. So more of this, and you'll start complaining less about overdevelopment in St. Johns County. So congratulations to North Florida Land Trust. Keep up the good work. Keep getting out there, getting your name out there, and get some of this land under control. All right, it is time to get to my good friend Vicky Oakes. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great for Monday.
Yeah, we didn't even lock you out. I heard Mike Davis used to lock people
Every
out.
time.
Wow, see, that's how he is. But he was part of the welcoming committee this morning.
I know, it was great to see him.
He was part of the welcoming committee this morning. So, Vicky, thank you for coming in. And you've been a guest of ours, Mike and I, since we were on the radio show for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
We always appreciate you coming in. And a lot of people always ask, Supervisor of election, what do they do? And it's an off election year. So I don't think people understand like what all is involved in the supervisor's election, what falls under your purview. Can you give us a brief summary of what the supervisors of elections does from like as if I'm a third grader? Because I've heard the story before. So
Okay.
I think I know just a little bit more than the average bear, but not much more.
All right. So, of course, I am responsible for voter registration, people that register to vote. And part of that is voter education. And, you know, our office tries to do a lot of voter education through some of our publications. This time of year, we are working on list maintenance.
Okay.
And a couple of years ago, our state legislature gave us some tools that we can use to improve the accuracy of our voter rolls.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of list maintenance right now.
That's where like you sent me out the signature card. I sent it back to you. So
Okay.
I did my part because I think the signature that I had was from when I was like 16 years old. So.
Right. And that's a great example. And you and 93,000 other St. Johns County voters got that letter.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't read what we send them. So lots of questions, lots of people kind of going off the rails. But it was a very simple, by the way, you haven't updated your signature with our office in the last 5 years. Please do so in preparation for 26 because we want to have all of our voters ready when it comes time. So in there was your voter registration application, fill it out, send it in. But in addition to that, the letter also went on to explain that last year, DMV started issuing brand new driver's license numbers. And a lot of people don't realize those numbers are very important to us because if you call and want to change your address on your voter record, or you want to put a vote by mail request in, or you have other business, these days, I'm required to not get only your name, your address, your birthday. I'm also required to get your driver's license number and or the last 4 digits of your Social Security to verify indeed that is you making a change to your record or making a vote by mail request. So we included that part in the letter too. Okay.
All right. Okay. When people move, and that means they move from a one voting district to another voting district, how do you if they change it on their driver's license, does it automatically read to you, or do they have to reach out to you and say, okay, I no longer live here, I live here? Is it on the voter, or is it on, I mean, I know it's always on the voter, but is there a check and balances between the organizations?
There is, and that's a great question, Troy. So the answer to your question is when you update your driver's license, they're going to ask you, would you also like to update your voter record? And if you say yes, then they will forward us that information. By the way, 80% of our voter registrations do come from DMV these days. And so that information comes to us electronically. Now, if you say no, then it does not. But our policy is at our office is every 60 days, we send our voter list out to match with the national change of address with the post office. And if you've made a change of address with the post office, we get that information, update your record, and send you a new voter card.
So there's a check and balances in a couple of different areas.
Yes. And then when we get that change, say from your address update from DMV, we'll send you a new voter card following that.
All right. Now, you've been supervisor of election for 16 years?
14.
14 years.
Yeah.
Okay. 14 years. But you worked in the supervisor's election office prior to that.
Yes.
So what is, besides the population, what is the major change that has happened in, so how long have you been in 30 years?
37 years.
37 years. So 37 years, year one to year now. Major changes have happened in St. Johns County. What is the the biggest change from when you started your job to where you're at right now?
It wasn't the 2000 election
Mhm.
because people always presume that it was. But in 2016, following the implications that Russia interfered in our elections,
Mhm.
the federal government designated elections as critical infrastructure.
Mm.
See, a lot of people don't know that.
Mhm.
So now elections get the same criteria as a power grid or a water facility, law enforcement, banking. We're kind of up there.
Mhm.
And
It's very important.
that change with elections being designated as critical infrastructure
Mhm.
changed our world. And I learned a brand new word, and it was cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. Okay.
Cybersecurity. It completely changed our world, Troy, and we've never looked back.
Mhm.
But in my wildest dreams, I never, ever thought that we would ever be in this place, but yet here we are.
Mhm. So you're one of 67 counties, but isn't there more than 67 supervisors of elections? Or
No, one for each county,
one for
just
each
like
county?
correct,
Okay,
just like
'cause
your sheriff.
I thought like Dade had like 2 regions or some weird stuff
No.
like that. So it's one for each county. So there's the supervisors of election in each individual county.
Correct, just like there is a sheriff in
Yeah.
each county.
Okay. So now you're an elected official. A lot of people don't realize, because no one wants to run against you, which is beautiful. But you're an elected official. When it comes to your own election, who monitors the supervisor of elections election?
Okay, well, like you said, very fortunately, I've not had opposition. But should that happen,
Mhm.
or should that time come, there's certain responsibilities that the supervisor has to recuse themselves from. Being a member of the canvassing board is one of them.
Okay.
And then there's some internal policies as well. Of course, I wouldn't be able to handle ballots or wouldn't be able to do, but I'd still be able to get out and do my job.
All right. And you're a constitutional officer.
Correct.
All right. And that goes with the sheriff, clerk of the court, tax collector, and yourself. And who am I missing?
Property appraiser. There's
Property
5
appraiser.
of us.
Oh, yeah. Eddie. Sorry, Eddie. There's 5 of you.
Right.
Now, when you came in, you were the youngest of all the constitutional officers. Now you're the crafty veteran.
I am.
What advice can you give to those, especially like Jennifer? Jennifer's new,
Right.
but she was under like Dennis, who was there for
40 years as tax collector.
Pretty much. I mean, I said he was there when when dinosaurs walked the earth. So
pretty close.
Yeah, but so now you're the veteran of the constitutional officers, and you go through the same budget process. You guys get your budget from the county and are approved that way. What advice do you have to new constitutional officers that you wish you would have gotten when you came in?
Gee, that's a tough one because it's different when you come up through the ranks and you already know your job. So I felt like it was just like I rolled my chair down the hall, because I'd been in the office. And it's the same for Jennifer.
Yeah.
So I would say to them, just do your best every day. Be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. If you don't already and you're new to the position, it is very important that you learn what your responsibilities are out the gate. And then the property appraiser and tax collector, their budget process is a little different because their budgets have to be reviewed by the Department of Revenue. So they don't go to the county like I do, where my budget is 100% funded from the General Revenue Fund. Theirs is just a little bit different. And then the clerk, they have some different particulars as well.
Yeah,
everybody's jobs are different.
They're the auditors of the county too, so they got a different role. So they're watching the money that they get their money from.
Right.
So I think that's very, very interesting. All right. So at the supervisor's election, you amp up, like in 26, you amp up with staff and you have to make sure your locations and stuff like that. What is your staff right now look like compared to what it's going to look like in August of 26?
Well, those 93,000 letters that I sent out, we have about a 30% return on them. In addition to petitions, we'll talk about in just a minute. So, Troy, I have a lot of my part-time staff in the office now to assist with the processing of the registration, and we're getting ready to work on the petitions as well. So I have probably 8 of my part-time staff in the office working right now. But normally when I'm fully staffed, I would have 18. And then we hire part-time about 35. And then for our poll workers, we are about 650. Wow. So I go from a staff full-time of 18 to a staff of about 700 to roll out a successful election.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that many. I was thinking it was like around 200. I was way off. So, and what's our current population right now in St. Johns County?
Okay, that's
340,000. Is that
all right? So that's a real moving target that is difficult to answer. I only deal with the registered voters. We're a little over 230,000 right now.
Registered voters
in St. Johns County, yes. And it depends on who you ask what the population figures are.
Yeah, and who it benefits.
Right. So I'm very sorry I can't answer that question for you.
Well, you answered the portion
the registered voters.
Registered voters. It's so when you started 37 years ago, approximately what was that registered voter number?
Okay, I started in March of 1988. There were 32,000 registered voters in St. Johns County.
That's funny. I started at the county in January 2nd of 90.
Okay.
So we've been with the county for a long time here. And the population was extremely low and where it was at. So it was 32,000. And the reason I asked that question, when there was 32,000, what was the balance between Republican and Democrat compared to the balance between Republican and Democrat now?
It was Democrat.
It was a heavy Democrat, right?
A very heavy Democrat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was a Democrat at that time, and I became a Republican, I think, in the 2000 election, I believe, where I became a Republican.
Okay.
So, so what was it? It's now, what's the percentage now? We actually have more.
About 53 or 54% Republican. The next largest group is not the Democrats; it's voters with no party affiliation.
Yeah, no party.
And then the registered Democrats are the smallest in the county. But the voters with NPA or no party affiliation, that's not just a local trend. You'll see that statewide. There are a lot of people that register with no party affiliation.
See, and when I sent my card back, I almost went no party. But the problem is then you lose your voice in the primaries.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wanted to kind of be that neutral. I feel like I'm a neutral person and want to vote for the person, not the party. But I almost felt like I was throwing away my vote, and I ended up not doing that. I ended up staying with the Republican Party. As far as challenges with technology and keeping up with technology, you did mention the 2000 election, which we had nothing to do with. Everything from St. Johns County was fine
because we were on paper ballots already.
We were on paper ballots. As far as technology goes, there was a big scuttlebutt in the 2020 election about mail-in ballots because of what was going on in the world in 2020. What technology has helped you with your job, and what technology has made it more challenging for your job?
Okay. Let me tackle that has made it more challenging first.
Okay.
Social media and the circling of misinformation. especially has made the information and managing my job more difficult, because people will ask me a question and I give them the facts and the correct information, and they say, "Oh, well, thank you very much." But do you think they share that?
They don't use it because it didn't fit their narrative.
Doesn't fit their narrative. Sometimes facts get in the way, of people's narratives. And so just a lot of misinformation out there is probably more than anything else. The fact that technology changes, we used to advertise in, well, you remember when the St. Augustine record, everybody read the record. It's almost non-existent.
Now everyone watches the 904 now.
Oh, well, good. So that's been a challenge to make the transition. We do work a lot and find that the local newspapers or neighborhood newspapers, people still read those. So I do some advertising in them. We have do a lot on social media. We do a lot on our website. So driving people to our website to follow us on Facebook, and of course, because you've been in government, and First Amendment, people can just, start, and then there gets the back and forth, and because of First Amendment, we can't really tell them this is not the platform for you. Go take it somewhere else.
Yeah. See, we have the ability to do that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we have the ability to do that. All right, we're gonna do our Gas Buddy gas report, but I'm gonna come back and interview. We got some questions. We were talking about petitions and some of those things. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
But Blake, if you can do our Gas Buddy gas report, I'd appreciate it, sir. And bless you, by the way. I heard that sneeze.
Oh, thank you. But thankfully, my microphone was muted for the general audience, though. So thank you. All right, I guess what you guys for it. Let us know in the comments what you seeing for the best gas prices across St. Augustine and St. Johns County. We have Sunoco at $21.99 North Ponce. That's $2.72. That's their cash/debit card price. Shell at $2.16 Ponce de Leon is $2.77. Sunoco at $4.50 Ponce is $2.77. Owens at 78 South Ponce is $2.77. Shell at $23.50 North Ponce is $2.77. Shell on 146 King is $2.77. Mobile and Circle K at $2.84. A1A discount beverage is $2.89. Gate on US 1 is $2.94. And the Circle K on US 1 North is $2.94. That Gas Buddy gas. Oh, wrong camera. I'm so sorry. That Gas Buddy gas report is brought to you by Crystal Sale Bear Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Crystal Sale Bear Bonds. Available 24/7. The experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home.
All right.
Yeah, from paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it the most. When the time matters, remember the name and the number. Crystal Sale Bear Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245.
All right, and I have the live music today brought to us by visitstaugustine.com. We have Jim Lamb at Milltop Tavern at noon. Reggie Sterrett at Tradewinds at 1. Josh Tennessee Worthy at Milltop at 4:30. Southern Social String Band at Hurricanes Grill and Wing is at 5. Mark Hart at Tradewinds at 5. Bones at Tides at 5. Micah Gilliam at Prohibition Kitchen at 6. The legend Bob Patterson at OC White's at 6. Stu Weaver at Harry's at 6. Joe Downing at Salt Life Food Shack at 6. And Modest Yahoo is at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall at 7. I can't believe they're still together. They played the Warp Tour back in 2008 for us here. All right, and that music report is brought to us by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust Fidus Roofing and Construction. Voted St. Augustine's very best every year since 2002. As a GAF Master Elite Contractor, Fidus installs GAF lifetime roofing systems and expert metal roofs built to withstand Florida's toughest weather, from emergency repairs to full replacements, plus pavers and gutters. Fidus delivers quality and durability and energy savings with every job. For Fidus Roofing, give them a call at 904-355-ROOF. That's 904-355-7663. Fidus Roofing, where trust is built from the top down. All right, we're not doing trends. I guess we're talking about trends with social media and stuff like that. But we usually do a trend segment right here. And Amanda brings in things that makes me go, oh my gosh, why is that a trend? But that is sponsored by, and guys, I'm going to hopefully do this read much better than I did last Monday. Facial Rejuvenation Center. Here we go.
What are you saying here?
I messed this one up big time last week. Big time last week. So here we go. Ready to look as young as you feel. I don't feel that young sometimes, but I do want to look good. At the Facial Rejuvenation Center in St. Augustine, they specialize in natural, lasting results. Whether you're considering Botox fillers, advanced skin treatments, or facial surgery, their expert team tailors every experience to your unique beauty goals. For more than 21 years, the Facial Rejuvenation Center has proudly served the local community, offering a wide range of services including chemical peels, microneedling, dermaplaning, radio frequency treatments, laser hair removal, and more. Discover renewed confidence in a warm, professional setting because you deserve to love the face you see in the mirror. Call 904-810-5434 or visit frcenter.com to book your consultation today. I stuttered a couple, but I still did better than last week. Next week, I'm going to nail it. All right, we are back to our wonderful interview and our supervisors of election, Vicky Oakes. Now, Vicky, you've seen a lot in your 37 years at the supervisors of elections here in St. Johns County, and you've always done an absolutely amazing job. And we say you're the best supervisor of elections in the history of supervisors of elections. What was one of those moments? Because everybody has these moments in their career. What was one of those moments where you're like, "What are we doing?" Was it the 2000 election, or was it the 2016, or was it the 2020? What was one of the major challenges during your career, not just as supervisor's election, but throughout your entire career, where you're just like, has the world gone crazy and we're just sane? Because sometimes it feels that way. So.
Yes. So 2000, we were on point with that. It was not an issue, even though it came down to 537 votes in Florida that defined the presidency for that year. We were good. We were on paper ballots. 2016 was not an issue with us. A lot of people don't realize it, even though they hear different and read different on social media, but our voting system is not open to the internet.
There you go.
They're designed that way for a reason.
Yes.
And so I would have to say, Troy, it would be 2020 because of COVID. Mm-hmm. COVID brought us some serious challenges. The first one was early on, and the reason I remember this is we had our early March presidential preference primary halfway through. You know, it was like March 17th.
Yeah, it was like right at the...
Early in COVID. Mm-hmm. It had started in February. We were halfway through early voting. First part of early voting went well. It got to Florida, and the next thing we know, on election day, the county declared a state of emergency. Well, because it kind of started during the halfway through early voting, we saw numbers drop. We saw poll workers calling out. More than half of our workers bail the day before the election.
Yeah. Just out of fear, I'm sure.
Exactly, out of fear. So we lost 200 poll workers the day before. And of course, my staff I'm like, look, just take a breath, you all. Mm-hmm. You need to understand, it's my thoughts that if workers aren't going to go, neither are the voters, because it's so fresh.
It'll be proportional.
We don't know. People are going to have to weigh, is this worth your life? And they're not going to. So we made it through the day okay. We said, well, we'll just got to go with what we have. And I was right. Voter turnout was very low. We managed with the day. And then I think what bothered me most, there were some states that just their election laws went out the window. But Florida did not do that, especially with vote by mail ballots.
Yeah.
Florida did not do that. They made the decision, no, we are not going to mail ballots to every voter. We have processes.
Yeah, that's by request here.
By request. And we have options for in-person voting, both early voting and at your precinct on election day. So there were some challenges by the time August came around. Well, late June and July, we were training poll workers. We did a lot of our training online. We were buying, like everybody else, we were buying masks, hand sanitizers, all of that. And we got through it. And I am so grateful. There were so many of our workers that said, we're going to do this. We feel we are so much into this. We are very dedicated. And I was so grateful for the workers that stepped up and said, we'll do what we can to protect ourselves. Gloves, hand sanitizers, masks, wiping down the pen in the booths after everybody voted. But that was a big challenge. That was a big challenge.
Yeah, that was a challenge.
For everyone.
All over.
Right, for everyone.
All right. Now, I asked you right before the show, and I didn't realize. I thought my question before the show was, did you have anything to do with having to qualify what was happening here in St. Johns County for the replacements of the airport authority? And I thought you at least had to qualify them because they were candidates. But that's not true. Everything went through the state.
That's correct, because I qualify candidates when they run for office.
Okay.
With the airport authority, and some of the districts vary, but mostly they are governor appointments. So in their charter and in the statute, it does specifically say that they, in the case of a vacancy, it would be filled by the governor for the remainder of the term for the airport authority. So when a vacancy occurs, the governor's appointments office, they have a really nice website. They list the appointments. You can go in and apply, because you have to apply for the position. And there will be a point in time, they close it, and then the governor will make his decision who will be appointed to the position. And now we have one more to do. So.
Yeah, someone else has resigned since they did the other appointments even.
Correct.
Now, one of the unique things that has come up in the last 20 years, 25 years, is these CDDs, these communities have elections also. Now, you're responsible for those in addition, right? The ones that are these independent housing groups. I don't know, is Aberdeen one of? I'm trying to think of who would fall in that category. I guess Nocatee would be one of them.
Okay, so the largest one in St. Johns County, and they are actually called community development districts.
Okay.
The largest one that we have in St. Johns County is probably the Julington Creek Plantation, and they've been around the longest.
They've been around a long time.
They've been around the longest. Nocatee is exactly correct. It is Tolomato CDD, but they vary in the fact that they cross county lines.
Oh, okay. So
because they're partially in Duval County.
Gotcha.
So they don't qualify with me.
So they don't qualify with you?
No, they qualify with the state.
Oh, okay, because of the coordination. Okay.
Right. But you're correct. We have a lot of CDDs. Yeah. And so under statute, when they all start out as landowners, or there's a certain process for them, for the landowners. And then it's a certain point, it's when they've been, depends on the size and the time of their existence, more or less than 5,000 acres. And then the time of existence up to 6 years. Once they reach that criteria, then they transition to my office, taking over the election of their CDD board members and then that occurs in the general election. They're not involved in the primaries because they're nonpartisan.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we do have a lot of the nonpartisan stuff. Like, is Port Authority a nonpartisan?
Airport Authority, correct.
Even the
Port Waterway and
Port
Beach.
Waterway and Beach,
Correct.
and Find, all those are nonpartisan.
Well, I don't deal with fine.
You don't deal with Find because
Nope.
it goes over the 13, so that's more of a state.
Well, yeah, it would be, and it's probably an appointment because they're not elected.
Okay, they're not elected.
No.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. See, and your job's confusing because I mean, I look at all these boards and they're paid boards, and some of them fall in your category and some of them don't. But I guess that's for you and your staff to figure out which ones you make sure you nail down the ones that are correct. We talked about petitions prior to, because we only got time for about one or two more questions. Petitions, how do they affect your the election process for you?
Okay, so let's talk constitutional amendment petitions. For example, the one that is active and we are working in our office right now, we have about 5,000 in-house, are to bring recreational marijuana back to the ballot in 26. As you will remember, it was on the ballot in 24. It did not pass. It came very close to hitting the 60% threshold. So the group started in 25, started this year, reapplied, started getting petitions, collecting them. There was some legislation passed by the state legislature that changed the process. And I'm not going to get into that because I'm in a lawsuit regarding that. But my job is we have to, when the petitions are received in our office, we have to verify their registered voters and the signatures that match the signature on the voter file, and then we certify them to the state. And they have, it's going to make the 26 ballot, which it may very well. It has to be, there's the threshold of February 1st, so we're kind of on a time crunch.
Getting close on that. All right, the other thing that it also hits the ballots are like the amendments, like the famous pregnant pig amendment. How do those work, and how do those get on the ballot? Is it through the same process?
Yes, it was the pregnant pigs happened to be one of those initiatives that was went through the process, got enough signatures verified by supervisors of elections to make it to the ballot. And then these days it's almost 1 million signatures statewide.
Yeah.
It's a percentage of the voters in the last general election. But once it makes the ballot, then it's up to the voters to decide. And it's statewide. It's 60% of the votes cast statewide. It either makes it or it doesn't.
All right. Anything we left off, because we're kind of wrapping it up right here, because St. Johns County is doing their legislative meeting,
Right, their legislative day.
over at the auditorium today, and we need to get Blake over there to see what's going on. I'm sure you're going to attend over there. Anything we left off that we need to get out there to the voters, get those signatures back in.
Right.
You said it's only at 30%.
But that's really pretty good. So if you've received one of the letters in the mail, complete your application and please drop it in the mail. We're just trying to get people ready for the 26 elections. Visit our website. We do also, on our website, you can sign up for text alerts from my office with TextMyGov. And during election time, we send you reminders. They're all election specific.
And the website is SJC.
VoteSJC.gov.
I always get it backwards. VoteSJC.gov.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you. Blake, will you tell me, how are you going to check the comments, and if we have an extra question in there for them, or Vicky? How are you going to do that, sir?
Wrong one. All right. All right. So on this Monday, I will methodically and masterfully maneuver my way to the minions' comments.
All right. Thank you, minions. And as you're maneuvering, I'm going to tell everyone about BNS Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to BNS Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with B&S Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. All right, and I got to talk about the Good Troy, and the Good Troy, of course, is St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House. Proudly owned by Troy Yacina Enterprise and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building includes free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092, St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience and community matters. All right, Blake, what do we got in the comments?
All right, no Costco or Buc-ee's report today, but we do have BP at Lewis Point at 291. Wawa on US 1 is 298. Speedway on US 1 is 289. Circle K at Wildwood is 289. Racetrack is 289. Betty won first comment today. For question of the day, Anastasia's an 8. Bobby's a 1 or a 2. Nick is very superstitious, but only for sports. Barbara Jean has to wear purple for Vikings games. Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you, Commissioners Cynthia Garris, for joining in once again this morning. We do have one question for Vicky, though, and it actually comes from Rebecca, and she asks, does the office have to pay for postage for all 93,000 letters that have to be sent out?
Did we pay for it? Yes, that came out of my budget.
It did.
All right.
And the return mail, too. If you fill out your application and you drop it in the mail.
Going in, coming back.
Going and coming.
Yeah, going in, coming back. So, all right. Didn't we have a gas price from Sioux Falls?
I think I missed that comment. So I
think it was like $2.50 something in Sioux Falls.
All right.
They're watching in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Now it is time for the Stoidum Stat. Today's Stoidum Stat. It is 1904, and the New York subway, our largest subway system, opened for the very, very first time. And the mayor actually is the one who ran the subway. It started at 2:35 on this day in 1904. George McClellan, he took controls of the inaugural run of the city's innovative new rapid transit system, the subway. London was the first. Boston was the first one here. But the subway here in New York became the largest very quickly, and it was a 9-mile run with 28 stations to start from City Hall in Lower Manhattan to Grand Central Terminal. We've been on that subway. Subway system's great, and they came up with that 120 years ago. Blake navigates for me when we go on the subway because I get confused. So, but absolutely love it. You know, people are afraid of the New York subway. I absolutely love it. So, all right. And that Stoidum Stat is brought to us by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine, right there on the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice tomorrow because they're not open on Mondays. Absolutely wonderful pizza. We will unfortunately be losing St. Augie's Pizza next month, but we have another great restaurant coming in to take over the Stoidum Stat, so don't worry. You're still going to get your Stoidum Stat. All right. Any plugs? Do you have any plugs that you need to get out to anyone in the community or with your organization?
We already have people signing up for the 26 elections. Visit our website and take a peek.
Well, we have one of the governor's candidates in here already.
Yeah?
Mr. Renner's already been in with us. Blake, any plugs?
If you're looking to sponsor the 904 Now or look for a podcast space, you can always email me at blake904now@gmail.com or email my dad at troy904now@gmail.com so he can forward that email to me.
All right. And don't forget to like and follow us. It does help our algorithms if you're liking and following us each morning. I know you guys are so loyal to us, and we really appreciate it. But if we can do that, that really helps us out. We do have Bollocks tonight. We got 5 questions. Lenny and I will be in here, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
time.